If you've been enjoying our podcast as much as we have and hope that we continue past 50 episodes, here's your chance. Here's your chance to help make that happen. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, not only will you help the Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary podcast to live on, but you'll also get exclusive content just for you.
Here's what's in store for you. Join monthly Q&A sessions where you can ask us about anything. Whether it's about our work, personal interests, or advice on your own projects, we're here to connect and share.
Enjoy unique content created specifically for Patreon subscribers, including bonus segments from our shows.
You'll have a say in what we create, and you'll have a voice in future content.
Benefit from exclusive discounts on merchandise and entries into special giveaways. It's our way of saying thank you for your support.
Receive personalized shout-outs in videos, podcasts, or social media posts.
Because your support on Patreon allows us to dedicate more resources to creating the content that you love.
You could join the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast community on Patreon and become a Prairie patron for just $5 a month. We thank you so much for your continued support, and we cannot wait to share our ongoing journey with you on Patreon.
We are extremely grateful for the support of VisitSimiValley.com and the city of Simi Valley's belief in Little House on the Prairie and their support of the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
Discover the charm of Simi Valley, California, the home of the Prairie. Visit Simi Valley, where adventure meets history and the spirit of the Prairie comes alive. Explore the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, step aboard Air Force One, enjoy stunning hikes and savor delicious local cuisine. Whether you're here for a weekend getaway or a family vacation, Simi Valley offers something for everyone and is only 30 minutes from Los Angeles. Plan your visit today and experience the best of Simi Valley. Go to visitsimiValley.com for more details. Your adventure awaits in Simi Valley.
Happy Thanksgiving, Bonnet Heads. I am so happy to be here on this day of all days. I am Pamela Bob. I'm the creator, writer, and star of Living on a Prairie. Thanks for everyone who's supported that and liked it and subscribed. And today is also really special because I feel like we've been apart for a really long time. And today we have in the studio, back home from Ireland, her second home away from home, our beloved Prairie bitch, Alison Arngrim. How is the jet lag? How are you doing?
I'm fab.
It's so good to see you. I'm like, I can't believe you're in the studio. Yay. And also, of course, we are here with our beloved #imaginary boyfriend. That's right. We're here with Dean Butler.
Hi, Pamela. Happy Thanksgiving to you in New York. Great place to celebrate Thanksgiving, New York.
It is actually.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Yeah,
it really is. It really is.
Thanksgiving's great in New York. Christmas is great in New York. It's a great town.
Yeah.
What am I saying? How are you guys doing? Speaking of thanks, I'm so thankful that we're here together on Thanksgiving. It's just lovely.
Yeah, no, me too. And, I'm looking across here. Allison is sitting right across from me, and she's got this this work of art of a sweater on. So tell us about this sweater.
Faith and Begorra. Jesus, Betty and Joseph. I went to Ireland for 2 weeks. I had speaking gigs at these fabulous. The topic was the power of nostalgia in social media.
Oh. Well, that's your life.
I regaled them with stories of our podcast and our fabulous numbers and how brilliant we are and why this is important to people while Little House is big. And this is a real Irish wool sweater,
beautiful.
Authentic thing.
Yeah.
And it's very warm and fabulous. And I'll tell you about Ireland later, but it was an island full of me
Yeah.
I've never met so many people like me in one place.
Seriously.
We've already been, Joy and Christine, we have already been planning when we come back in the new year. I think we're going to do an entire episode on your Ireland excursion because this is crazy what you went through.
I'm going to do some Facebook Lives, talk about it. Just like I couldn't decide which place I went to I liked better, which thing I ate I liked better, was because I was in Belfast and Dublin and Wexford and
Kilkenny
and my ancestors, and I met my cousin, and it was that.
Who's like a hurling champion.
He is a hurling champion. He's a major sports dude.
Wow. All right. So
there you go.
Now listen, it's Turkey Day. What's everyone having? What's everyone having for Thanksgiving today?
Oh, who wants to go first?
I'll just say I'm going to be at Catherine's son's in-laws later today. And the meal is always spectacular. It is a very traditional turkey dinner. I mean, beautifully roasted turkey and, Brussels sprouts and beans and the wonderful stuffing and the potatoes and the pies and all the things that you love on Thanksgiving. How about you? I mean, Allison, you're such a chef.
I am infamous for my fabulous turkey, but Bob and I are like, who's coming this year? Oh wait, nobody. So we're rolling down the street to the smokehouse.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yes. We're going. They do a Thanksgiving dinner that is to die for. Yeah. So we're rolling down the smokehouse and go make them cook.
You just need other people to do the work.
And they do really great Thanksgiving dinner. The smokehouse is amazing. All their food is good. Yeah.
And Pamela, in the midst of rehearsals and all the things that you're trying to do, what about you?
Yeah, my life is absolutely crazy right now, but Thanksgiving is my favorite. We always go to my parents' house in New Jersey, my sister and her family, and me and my family. Well, we always go. And two things that are special. We also have very traditional Thanksgiving meal, but my mother's originally from Minnesota, from Minneapolis. And every year we have Minnesota wild rice, which is actually black. It's divine. So that's a part of our tradition every year. But here's the best part of our tradition. My mother cooks the turkey, and it's the best turkey, hands down, I've ever had in my life.
This is the homeless woman in your show.
Yes, the homeless woman
who's eating the bagel. Yeah,
who's a gourmet chef?
Who's just looked incredible in your show. Okay, so she makes turkey.
She makes the greatest turkey.
She makes the best turkey ever, and hands down, anyone who tastes her turkey also says, "Holy moly, what is the secret with this turkey?" And here's the secret: she based the turkey with an entire bottle of Manischewitz wine.
Yeah, baby.
If you don't know what Manischewitz wine is.
Of course. Wow.
It's the Concord grape or the...
It's the Concord grape.
Yes.
Kosher wine that has a twist-off bottle cap that you can open it with.
Wow.
It's as gross as it sounds.
No, it's great.
But great on a turkey.
The best turkey. Just succulent, juicy, incredible turkey. So
Manischewitz is great. It is super sweet. It's super sweet. Yeah.
I've heard of doing it with beer, having
turkey.
I've heard of like a beer can being opened inside it. It's same idea. Anyway, listen, we're doing that's great. Everyone have a great dinner. We're doing something a little different right now. It's Thanksgiving. We want to express our gratitude to one of our very, very special Little House friends. Let's welcome the president of the Simi Valley Chamber of Commerce, Kathi Von Etten. Hello, Kathi Von Etten.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you.
I can't believe it's already been, this year's almost over. And
I know.
How did that?
I know, and it's been an amazing year, and you and the Chamber have been a huge part of Little House's 50th anniversary celebration in so many ways. And so thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. You all did so much to make it work, and it's been a really fun year, a lot of learning, but really great.
A lot of learning.
a lot of learning. I think that's the lesson of the year.
Exhaustion.
This year. What's happening this weekend? Thanksgiving weekend over in Simi Valley? On Sunday?
So we are having our final bus tour on Sunday. Alison and Dean are going to be tour guides. They're also going to be doing book signings at the event. So even if you're not taking the bus tour, you can come and get a book signed, get some autographs, buy some swag, celebrate kind of the last thing that we're doing officially right now. We don't know what's out on the horizon, but we'd love to just greet the fans and see what...
So, Kathi, where can people, and we'll put this in the notes, but where can people, if they are looking to get tickets for the tour for Sunday, where do they get them?
At simichamber.org, and you just click on the Little House icon, and it'll take you to the bus tours and merch
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as always, it's in our show notes if people need
Yes, of course. Pamela does an outstanding job with show notes. Everything, all the details are there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I try.
When you look back, Kathi, on this year, what's been I think all of us have felt so incredibly blessed by the amazing things that have happened this year. But for you, what's been the high for you this year in being involved in all this?
I think, just meeting all of the cast members and working with them, but also seeing the fans. We knew they were there. We get a lot of calls here at the Chamber. Big Sky gets at least 2 calls a day. That's why we did the event. But meeting them, knowing that they're coming from, spending their so much money coming here to spend to the pilgrimage to go to Big Sky and meet all of the, the cast members and the crew members who made the show happen. It's just been really nice to meet the wonderful people who are just so passionate about the show.
Well, we've talked about this, the 18,000 people from 27 countries that descended on Simi Valley. It was a shock to all of us. I think the thing I always think of, Kathi, is we knew we'd sold the tickets, but until you see the people there, you just don't know what that really means. It was just absolutely incredible.
It was incredible. It was a lot of fun. It was just so much fun to see people out there having fun and knowing that we all created that for them and brought people to Simi Valley to see how lovely it is here.
Yeah.
So now you have some collectibles also. I think we should let people know there are some very special collectibles from the event. Maybe, what can people get to commemorate? 50th anniversary tin cups.
The cups are amazing. Yeah.
The license plate holder. I got myself a license plate holder. That's the official license plate holder of the event.
People are driving around with it. I had someone say they've seen them. Yeah.
And what else?
We have t-shirts.
Oh, t-shirts. Okay.
All sorts of stuff. We have a Prairie dust. We have remembrance books. We have postcards, bookmarks, all sorts of stuff in my office, basically.
Yeah, in your office, everywhere.
Just knock on her door.
Your associate John Tolson and I went up to Walnut Grove, in the weeks preceding the event, and we had a shovel, your shovel, from your garage in the and we shoveled prairie dust into buckets and brought it home. And you dried it in your oven. And broke up all the clods and everything. And it's this perfect prairie dust in vials for people now.
Oh, you were shoveling something.
I was who knows what I was shoveling, but I did shovel it into buckets there. And how many vials? Like 10,000 vials or something?
Brilliant.
It's like some crazy
Brilliant
thing.
idea.
Yes, we had quite a few. We've got less than we had before, but we still have some. And
that's such a good idea.
Well, I think we're going to give some away on Sunday, right? When people
so we have a special, we have an online store. We actually have ornaments too, which but we have a special for anybody who wants to purchase Christmas gifts. If you use podcast 50, all caps 50, you'll get your entire order. Plus, Dean and Alison are going to sign some of the prairie dust. So you'll get a free prairie dust.
Yes, we will.
Absolutely.
Not personalized, but signed by Alison and Dean.
If you said 50 years ago.
Sorry.
You didn't tell Alison.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got?
She's always game.
I'll do anything.
Alison's always game.
What do you got?
What do you got?
Where can the people go if they would like to purchase these things and they're not local to Simi Valley?
SimiChamber.org.
And so there's a store.
Website.
You have a store online. Okay,
fabulous.
Great. Kathi, we will see you on Sunday, the 1st of December at Simi Valley. We're going to be there from not quite at sunrise, but shortly thereafter. We're going to be there all day. Alison and
I'm doing one tour. You're doing two.
I'm doing two tours. Yeah, no, I can't get enough of it.
Oh, and I'll be there. I'm bringing. I got aprons. I got swag. I got books. I got aprons.
You've got everything.
I have everything. I do.
You are the mercantile.
Giving the people what they want.
Yeah. Yes. No, but really, thank you, Kathi. And so,
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Kathi, and happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And 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 also Simi Valley was just so wonderful. I still am in disbelief that I was there and was a part of it. And just wow. You guys, do you look back on it now and are like, what was that? That thing really happened. Wow.
It's fun to look at people's YouTube videos that were there and that kind of captured a lot of it that we didn't get to see. So that's very,
a lot.
Yeah.
So we did that. I didn't know that happened. So
I was working, but it was great. But anyway, we thank you, Kathi, so much. And we will be right back with our special Little House guest. But first, from UBN Go in Burbank, California, me in New York, this is the Thanksgiving edition of the Little House 50th Anniversary Podcast. Okay, here we go. Let's get to today's special guest, Dean.
Yeah, when I first met this woman today, I mean, she's this beautiful woman. She was really, really young. I mean, and really cute, but there wasn't much conversation between us. You know, I mean, she was really just this bundle in a blanket for the most part. And, Alison, I mean, we got to know her a couple of years ago.
Well, yeah, because it was that one. It was so crazy. It was that huge thing in Bakersfield, but I had taken off to go do a play and abandoned you.
I swore you were there.
I abandoned you all in the wilds of Bakersfield for a whole weekend because I had to go be an evil old lady in an Agatha Christie play.
Okay.
I left you. I left you there. But then it turned out to be the weekend of weekends because this woman, very tall, beautiful woman, stomps on up to your table.
Well, she doesn't stomp. She glided up to the table.
She glided.
And she said, "You're my dad."
Yikes!
And
time
and I have to tell you, for someone who spent their life being pretty careful about all that, that was really a shock to hear that. Now, she will swear she didn't say it that way, but that's the way I heard it.
Yes, and that's what you're sticking to.
You saw a girl her age, and she said the word father in a sentence, and you went, hum.
Yeah. Anyway, we're,
ever.
Yeah, listen, we're all great talkers, but I was definitely silenced. Like, I didn't know what to say. And
how long did it take you to come down?
Well, it was
funny.
We had this conversation. We had a conversation, and she took out her pictures and showed her call sheets and her work permits.
Oh my gosh!
Sister was she and her sister, and I realized, of course, this is who this is, and she has been a wonderful part of our Little House family ever since. Please welcome to the Little House 50th Anniversary Podcast on Thanksgiving Day. Infant baby Rose. Here's Jennifer Donati. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. That story every time.
No, I know it's embarrassing to you. It was embarrassing to me.
Best story ever. Never stop telling that story. That's what I have to say. It's a great story.
I don't think it will. Dean won't.
No,
ever.
It's pretty darn funny. But you are one of the great additions to our traveling band of Prairie folk and our events.
Jennifer,
you are one of absolutely the greatest additions.
You really are.
Thank you for being here on Thanksgiving Day. Can I ask what is there anything that you are particularly thankful for today?
I am thankful that I decided to go down to the fairgrounds and meet all of you lovely people, not Allison. You weren't there. I think I'm pretty grateful. My life has not been the same since that day.
Yeah. Oh, well, and listen, we would be remiss because a couple of days ago you celebrated your birthday. So let's sing you a quick round of happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. Listen, what it lacks in expertise, it is filled with sincerity.
And enthusiasm. Lots of enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, happy belated birthday, Jennifer. So I'm sorry, I have to ask. Well, I shouldn't ask, but I will. But can you tell us how many you've celebrated? You were like, what? You were like 10 weeks old or something? A month old? 2 months old?
7 weeks.
How old were you? 10
weeks.
Yeah.
No, 7. She said
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
That's little.
Yeah, no, look at that. And, no one loved being around small children the way Melissa did. Yeah. So, I mean, this was just like a dream come true for her to get to hold you and be mommy. She had a great time. No doubt.
Yeah,
Of course, you have no memories of that time at all.
Yeah, that must be weird.
It's a blur.
No memories now.
No. What's
This is what other people are telling you.
Yeah,
Totally.
They just told me what happened.
How did you get the part?
Laura had been pregnant forever. And my mom
like 2 seasons?
I hadn't thought about that, but I guess that's true.
It did. Well, my pregnancy was really long too. It was the thing because we had the actors strike, and so we just kind of we left and we came back, and he's like, "Hi, we're still pregnant." It was one of the. So I remember my pregnancy was I gave birth to an elephant or something. I don't know what happened, but yeah, TV pregnancy either lasts 2 episodes or like a year and a half. It's always wrong.
Yeah.
So my mom had just had twins, and a friend had convinced her to go, sign up because the studios love twins, and she thought we'd do a commercial or something.
Yeah.
Our very first call was to go meet Michael, and I don't know if he I don't know how many twins he had to choose from, but he seemed satisfied with us, so we got it. Just the right time.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it's one of those things that you can't, you're just a participant in this. You're brought to it. Yeah. You're there. You're just being adorable. You're doing what all you can do is just be an adorable presence, which you and your sister were. And
I say we were props.
No,
interactive props.
Yeah. No, basically that's as a small child, I think, that's
7
really
weeks old.
7 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks old. Yeah, I mean, you're not even a small child yet. You're really an infant. You were that, but you were adorable props. And look, you've made. When I think of the impression that you have made now, all these years later, from just having you and Eli and Aslan show up to the Bakersfield Fairgrounds and just introduce yourselves. I mean, it really. It's a big change for you. It's a big change for all of us too. I mean, because you have added something really, really special to our little group, and you're Rose Wilder. I mean, it's like you represent. You're not alone in this, but you represent Rose Wilder, and you do it really, really well.
Thank you.
Yeah. No.
So
absolutely.
Jennifer, did you watch the series growing up at all?
Is that how you knew it was you?
Yeah. Is that how you knew it was you? Yeah.
We always knew it was us. My mom recorded off the TV our episodes, so we would watch those, but we never went back and watched the entire series. So
have you ever?
A little, not the whole thing. There's a lot.
Episodes you haven't seen.
So many. And they're not short episodes.
I know.
There's a lot of catching up to do there.
Listen, take it from me. Get the flu around Christmas time and then watch the Hallmark 24/7. They do the 24/7 episodes leading up to Christmas Day. Right. Best way to, besides the whole flu part, best way to watch all of them.
Get in bed, some ginger ale and some crackers.
Perfect. Perfect. It's great.
You know what though? Dean hasn't watched all of them either. So
no, I haven't, and I have my favorites. I definitely have my favorites. Obviously, ones that I was involved with. I have favorites that I was not involved with. This is one of those things that is going to be like the it is going to be that bucket list thing. I'm going to watch all of it. Yeah, because I think there are some wonderful surprises. Ahead of me in watching all this. But the ones that I have, all the ones that I have watched, and many I have watched, they leave a very, very happy, positive vibe, which is part of the gratitude that we all have for being a part of this. Is that they just leave this wonderful sense of humanity and goodness and decency, and a little naughtiness too with Allison over there. But it's all good. It's also good. We have so much to be grateful for on a Thanksgiving to be a part of this wonderful thing. And Jennifer, I mean, for you, my God, I mean, what a gift! What a gift! 45. You have no memories of doing it, but other than knowing that you did it.
Right. I feel like I've inherited something that's just kind of handed to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious to know how you said my life hasn't been the same since you met these people and joined up. Can you tell us what was life before and what is life after?
It's like the Twilight Zone now. Like, what happened that day? I remember the very first fan event I went to in Macon, Missouri.
At Macon, oh my God, yeah.
Yes,
almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah, they sat us right next to each other, which was good.
Oh, that's
people
lovely.
are walking up to me shaking, and I'm like, I'm shaking. Like, what am I doing on this side of the table? I mean, I'm just me. Like, why is this? How? It was so.
We're all
bizarre.
just us. Yeah, that's really the bottom line. Is we're all just us, and yet we have this wonderful, people give us this wonderful gift.
And that's what the fans like. That's why the fans like us and want to talk to you and want to talk, because they go to events where celebrities are like, stay over there,
for sure.
And they come and they meet you, who has like a real job and a real life and and we're real people, and they talk to us and go, you guys are like normal people. Which doesn't always happen. And I think that's one of the things, our rapport with our fans, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think one of the things that strikes me about you, Jennifer, and we're just going to just extol your virtues here. You're so real. You're decent. You walk in with so much gratitude. And you find ways to get along with everybody. And this is a function of who you are as a human being. It's how you were raised. And we're going to talk in our next segment with you about this wonderful book that you've written, More Than Just the Prairie. And that book, I absolutely loved your book. I thought it was spectacular. I had no idea what to expect. I mean, none of us did.
She sent me a chapter. You sent me that chapter before it was done. She said, "Okay, I'm ready." And I said, "Send me something." And she was like, "You were not." You told me, "It's like, oh no," because I had like the hit book. I'm like, "Send me a chapter now." And I said, "I want to read it. I want to. Where is this going? What are you doing?" And I started reading the chapter, and I froze. I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I was absolutely glued to my computer screen going, oh my God. It was almost traumatic. I almost got PTSD reading it because it was all about her mom in the hospital. It was a very traumatic chapter. And I went, I'm having flashbacks to every bad hospital experience I ever had. This is heavy. This is extremely emotional, and it's pulling me in. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I don't know what the heck you're doing, but do that for the rest of the, several hundred pages, and you are good. And it's just amazing.
Well, I agree with that. You are good, Jennifer, with the way you wrote this. You gave the book to me. I have it right here with me, and I'm sorry it's in my bag right now, but you gave it to me on March 14th, about 10 days before our event. I was so focused on getting us through our 50th anniversary event and then leading up to the launch of Prairie Man that, I just hadn't had a chance to look at it. So it was on the trip that Catherine and I and Benny took in the car from Los Angeles to Tombstone for our event that Catherine read the book to me out loud. Oh. And I was absolutely blown away by it. And I think the thing that I loved so much is just you have wonderful power of description about putting people in a place. And you clearly have read a lot in your life because you have a sense of how to tell a story that's really special and very immersive. And as Alison said, very inviting.
Pulled me right in.
It just brings you right in to the world that you're trying to talk about. And you have you had a lot of tragedy in your life. I mean, that's very clear in reading the book. And yet you bring such a sense of optimism and goodness and understanding to all of that. We're going to talk about, Pamela, take us to a break, and we're going to come back and talk to Jennifer more.
Yes. We will be back with Jennifer Donati and her book, More Than Just the Prairie, on this Thanksgiving 2024, right after this.
When you visit Simi Valley, California, you're stepping into the pages of history. Go from the pioneers to the presidents. Explore beautiful wildflowers, hike through iconic Hollywood locations, and end your day aboard the actual Air Force One at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. Throughout the summer, Take the Little House 50th Anniversary Tour at Big Sky Movie Ranch. Less than 15 minutes from Los Angeles and 30 minutes from Universal Studios, Simi Valley has small-town charm with big-time history. Go to visitsimivalley.com for more information. We are so grateful to visitsimivalley.com for their commitment to presenting the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
Hi, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to our Little House 50th Anniversary podcast with our guest, infant baby Rose Jennifer Donati, and we were just discussing her book. I would love to know, what was your process of writing this, and why did you want to write it?
I wanted to write it after I had started doing these fan events, and I kept being asked the same questions over and over again. And I'm like, you know what? And my sisters and I had always joked, because we've been through so much, that one of us needs to write a book, but who are we going to sell it to? So once we started doing these events and the same questions, I was like, I could answer a lot of these questions and tell my whole story in one project. So that was what prompted it. And then I just started to sit down and I would focus on one story. Like, my mom's story was really the most heavy, the one that I really did want to tell. I think I needed to just tell it.
Yeah.
So I started there, and then I just kept thinking of more stories, and then just before you knew it, we had written a book.
I've said this so many times before on this podcast as well, but the older I get, the more I realize that I really don't think that there are that there is such a thing as a coincidence. And it's just really fascinating, to say the least, that you had this thing inside you that you felt like you needed to heal and to tell, but didn't necessarily have an audience. And then you meet these Prairie people, and then all of a sudden you have an audience, and you have people that want to know the thing that you've been wanting to tell. And this opportunity came up. I just think, wow, what a blessing. What an amazing, amazing thing.
I agree.
But that's how mine started. It was the questions. People kept asking things, and I went, well, what if I sat down and answered all the questions? And that was sort of the jumping off point. And it's amazing how well that works. And your story is intense. I mean, your whole family, it's just, for people going through a hard time in their life and going, how do I go through this? How do I survive? How do I go on and find happiness? This is a book to read.
Oh, wow.
I completely agree. Pamela, I know you mentioned that you haven't read it yet. I think you would find it enormously enjoyable.
Oh, I know I will. I've only heard
revealing.
Wonderful things about it. I have no doubt. And, I've met you a couple of times, Jennifer, and I think I even said this before you came on the show. I was like, I love her. She's so cool. So
I'm going to have to get a copy to you.
No.
Get
I'll
the
buy
lady
one.
a copy.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
So, Jennifer, like all babies on Little House, you were born a twin. Tell us about your sister. I think this is one of the stories that comes out very strongly in the book. But just because Sarah was a part of all this, tell us about your sister.
So she was on Little House with me. We shared the part. But when we were 9, there was an accident, and she ended up passing away. I never know, how to tell the story. It's such a tragic story that you just see the mood go straight down. But she unfortunately passed away when we were kids, and now being 43, I've spent more time without her now than I did with her.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like another lifetime, trying to remember another life that I used to live.
Yeah.
What's your strongest memory of your sister? I mean, what comes back to you when you think about her?
She always got me in trouble.
Really?
She would do something, and then right when my parents would it would catch their attention, I was always set up to take the blame for whatever was going down. And then my dad finally told me one day that he saw it. He knew that she was setting me up most of the time. I would sit there like a little angel.
Wow.
And you're twins. This is like a younger sister kind of thing to do. And you were twins, and she still pulled this on you.
She did.
This is a very sister thing to do. Let's face it.
Right.
Yeah.
We have two more sisters, so she trained me how to deal with them.
Older?
Smaller.
Smaller.
Younger
Okay. Oh, I see. Got it. Right.
Yeah, I got them. I got it back.
Was how I know it was difficult. How difficult was it to talk about this and tell in incredible emotional detail the story of your sister and the loss of her in your book?
It wasn't. It was not as hard as writing the chapter about my mom. But I had never fully dove back into those memories until I wrote it. It was interesting, the things that I remembered that I had completely forgotten about, like seeing her for the first time at the funeral and trying to wrap my head around what it meant. And I don't think I did. I think it was such a surreal event that I remember my stepbrothers calling. They had gone to their dad's for the weekend and telling them that Sarah had died. And it didn't even sound real coming out of my mouth. And I don't think I didn't deal with it until I was much older. I think I was 13 when I finally was like, oh my God.
And that's still pretty young. I mean, I've been listening to a few experts in child psychology and development, and dissociation is there for a purpose. It's there for protection. It's there to help you, actually. So I know a lot of people are like, I don't remember. That's okay. Those memories are supposed to be that way because that's your body's way of protecting you. And people often don't come to terms, or those memories or those feelings don't really come to term well later in their lives. So that's why I'm saying 13 is still young. The statistic is that these memories sort of and emotions sort of don't really start to unlock until the average age is 50.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
So 13
we
is still
compartmentalize.
incredibly young, and it's for protection.
Yeah.
It's there to serve a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really fascinating, Jennifer. And then at 13, I'm sure it was not a pleasant thing to re-experience as well.
No, and I think it kind of blindsided my mom because I came to her with it, and she's just like, "What? Where'd this come from?" All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 4 years later.
Well, 9 is young, and 9 is also that age where I don't know if adults think that 9 is old enough to know what's going on, but it's not. It's just not. It's like 9, 10. That's a deceptive age in terms of being able to fully understand what's going on, or to processing. Like, what processing do you have as a 9-year-old? You don't.
Yeah.
No. I was so excited that I was getting new clothes to go to the funeral.
Yeah.
I got a new pair of shoes.
Right.
Everyone wanted to say hello. Everyone wanted to come talk to me. All of a sudden, I was the center of attention, and that's what I focused on.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I got out of it at 9 years old.
Makes perfect sense.
Of course it does.
Makes perfect sense.
Of course it does.
I hope you don't feel any shame around that, because that is your body protecting you.
That's normal.
Yeah, no,
Normal.
I mean, yeah, being that I was so young, it's kind of, it's interesting how everyone kind of finds a different way to deal with it. And you don't even realize that you're finding a way. You're just.
Right. Totally.
Picks one.
Yeah.
So I wonder then, in the writing of the book, I know you said the writing about your mother was a bit more intense for you, probably because it was more recent and you had more of a lived experience with her. Right. But in terms of your sister, I do wonder then, was that then a part of your healing as an adult as well, or trying to figure out the healing process? Or did you even know that you had more healing to do?
Right.
I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if it was healing or just understanding, or if those are the same thing.
Yeah.
But just understanding and analyzing the way I dealt with it is not. I've never done that before. Never looked back on how I got through that.
Fascinating. Really fascinating. Huh.
You and I think, Jennifer, you and Alison are very different people. I think and since we have two of our authors here, and obviously I've become an author too, but the two of you, such different people, but I think the thing that I loved about both of your books is that the voices that come off the page are completely authentic to who you are.
Yeah.
You know, you read Alison's book, I hear her talking as she and
Dean,
I
your
read
book
your
is too,
heart.
though.
I read your heart, Jennifer, as I read your book. And so very, very satisfying experiences.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
we're very different, but I want to grow up to be Jennifer Donati. It's like I read her book, like I already knew you were cool, but I read your book, and the number of things that you had to go, losing your sister, losing your mother, and the intensity of how traumatic they were. 9 is a terrible age, and your twin. It's when to lose a family member, to lose your sister, but to lose someone who's this mirror image of yourself. I was like, I don't. How would you even survive? And your way of that you survived all the things and all the things you went through, and the number of times you turn things around, and then like even as an adult, you're going, well, what am I going to do? I need a different job. I'll just completely change everything and go back to school and completely learn an entire new set of skills and do this. And it was like, what? And then you did. I mean, your strength and your resiliency is just like, because you turn the page going, I don't know if I would make it through this. How is she going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Well, Alison, I have read your book, so you have been through quite a lot yourself. It's hard to explain how you do that.
Yeah. It's how you go, well, I don't know what
someone
I did.
else has been through it. It's really hard to explain because you can't put your finger on one decision that you made.
It's because it's a mix of them. You go, well, I know I did this and this, but I guess
Well,
It's a pretty remarkable. No, I was just going to say it is a truly remarkable thing in human beings, that kind of resiliency. And I will say, not everyone is really capable of doing it. Many people get swallowed up, And so the fact that you both have these characteristics of people that get up, you get back up, and it might not be a cognitive decision to do it, but you do it. And that is an incredible attribute to, I think, to all of us, actually. I think I'm that way too. Dean, I think you're that way too. I think all of you in your writing have the power of being able to connect, not just connect with your inner self and put that on the page, but to connect to the reader that is reading it. Because all of you have unique voices, but again, reading it on the page, I hear your voices.
Well, and thank you for that, Pamela. So, Jennifer, you clearly did not become a Hollywood kid. Your mother didn't want that for you and your sister.
Thank heavens.
And you really, and people who read your book, and we're going to ask you to tell us how people can get your book. Okay. But you really looked around. There was quite a journey for you to find your place in the world. You have to tell us. And when look at being with you, talking to you, experiencing you, and then you tell you, I said, well, Jennifer, what do you do?
What do you do for a living?
What do you do? And what comes out of your mouth, Jennifer?
I'm a heavy equipment operator.
A heavy equipment operator.
So badass.
So I mean, it's awesome. So describe for people, because I think people don't necessarily know what that means to be a heavy equipment what is heavy equipment that you operate?
Are we steamrolling? Are we bulldozing? What do we do?
No steamrollers, but so loader. Right now, I'm on a loader, but then sometimes I'll get on the excavator. I joined the union, so they kind of try to get you really well-rounded so that you can take any kind of job.
Yeah.
So you're fairly comfortable on everything. You may not be the best on everything, but you certainly need to know how to turn it on and make it move. And
I guess that would be sort of the minimum that you need to do. There, when we were in Connecticut at the little children's museum. So what toy were you were on a loader, right? You got on a little loader?
No, that's a
backhoe.
An excavator.
An excavator.
Excavator. Because it was a thing for the kids.
See, Dean.
Right.
I have no idea.
And that people there were saying, is it a loader? And she said, no, it's an excavator. She knew what it was because it's a thing kids climbed on and then let them lift the rocks. And she's like, let me show you how to,
and you put the rocks exactly where they were supposed to go, too. Most people are the rocks would be pouring everywhere. No, you put them in the container that they were supposed to go in.
It was
very carefully, by the way.
I videoed it up, and I videoed it, and I put it on Facebook and said, today's moment of zen, because it was just you going, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-dum.
It's amazing, but you guys are not alone. Like, the number of people who don't know what these machines are called.
Yeah.
Everything's a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Or everything's a loader. So you're fine.
How did this come to be? I want to know.
So,
did you see someone do it and go, hey, that's what I want to do? How did this happen?
My husband was making more on unemployment than I was working a full-time job.
Oh, girl.
And I was like, I could do this. So I went and I took the test, and then I got approved, and I went to the training site and hung out there for a while until I got my first dispatch. And I mean, I can't be a laborer. I will help you shovel for a little bit, but I'm pretty worthless. I can't do it all day long every day. But I could sit in a seat and pull some levers and learn how to.
So what's the test? What kind of a test do you have to
pass
take?
that?
So it's a 3-part test. It's math, mechanical, and English. They want to make sure you can actually comprehend English. So they throw little funny words in there and misspell things.
Really?
Or like define the difference between presents, like a gift, or the presence of someone. Like they want to know that you're very fluent in the language.
Yeah, right. What about the math? What's the math?
There's math involved.
The math is just like converting.
I'd never pass.
And just it really kind of is basic math.
Yeah.
I'll never be. I will never get this gig.
Well, how many tons of rock are you moving? Tons and measurements.
Right.
Well, I mean,
it's nothing that you shouldn't have already learned in school.
Got it. Correct. So how much technology is there involved? I mean, the machines are obviously mechanical technology, but I'm curious, how much technology, like, geolocating and depth and all of that, how much technology is involved in this work?
It varies. So you can get a machine that is 50 years old and doesn't even have a door or windows. Or the much newer machines nowadays will have they have the ability to be hooked up to a GPS, and it's just a little computer screen, and you just tell it what you want it to do.
Yeah. And it does it.
And you push a button and you just drive the thing, and it does a lot of it for you. It's not often that I get on a machine like that. I have a few times, but generally it's manual. You're going to do it yourself.
Yeah. So I'm curious, Jennifer, when you're working, and we just have a few minutes left, but you're a very attractive woman. And here you are,
You're
sitting,
her dad.
Yeah. So
she's gorgeous.
And look, I'm very proud of my little girl.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So how do do the men you work with deal with you? I would think this is largely a male dominated world that you're in. Are there women? Do you work with other women?
On occasion. There's been times where we kind of like grouped together, not on purpose, but I've been on all female crews before, just by chance. But yes, for the most part, it's mostly men. And it's kind of, I like it because it turns into fathers and brothers. Like a lot of them are looking out for me. The older men are the best because they kind of look at me like one of their kids, and they don't want me to get hurt. They don't want to put me in a bad situation, so they are always looking out, So for me, I have not had problems.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Once you're out there on a site in the midst of it, it does become about, can you do the job or can't you? And a lot of stuff starts to just kind of go by the wayside, thank heavens.
Yeah. There are women out there that are literally walking problems that just have issues with everyone. You know, you can't look at them sideways without everybody's in HR. And so once they realize that I'm not that person, everybody kind of relaxes and realizes it's going to be okay.
But they don't get in front of your skip loader just if they know what they're doing.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of grown men knowing that they're looking after you, right? Like being that sort of protector over you. There's something very special about that.
It is.
That's
I
great.
feel better when I know I'm with them.
Well, and that's,
watch out.
And and it's the energy that you're, what's nice, Jennifer, is you empower people to do that for you. And it's not like you're being, I sense about you and being with you, no one's coddling you. But
no,
but people are watching. People are just being present to you being there. And what can we do to help you? And that's a very special thing, because you could be this vulnerable, you could be that woman, which would become annoying in that world, I would think.
Yeah.
But
Or
you're very
so
empowered.
Tough, or she could be
or the other
so
way.
tough
Right,
and
right.
so defensive
Never
and
having
so
fun.
much that it's the other swing of the pendulum.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
is a balance there.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine.
When I first got in, I had to be kind of careful of, I can do it. And it's like, literally, they're offering to help me. Why am I going to do this by myself? Of course. Like, letting them help me was something I had to consciously make a decision that I was going to let people help me.
Well, because of
what
your
a life lesson.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, seriously.
But now, of course, because of her can-do attitude and her ability to drive anything, we're sorry, we make her drive all the time.
That's true.
Go on these prairie events.
Yes.
And we get a couple SUVs. Go, okay, we got to go all the way from the airport to this location.
I'll drive and Jennifer will
and we're
drive.
like, Jennifer and Dean are driving. And I'm always like, I call shotgun Jennifer's car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to manifest drivers for you guys in 2025.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think we're working on that. We are definitely
we're gonna
working
have
on
drivers
that.
next year.
Jennifer, where can people get your book?
Yes, please.
It is available on Amazon. It's also in my Square site, which unfortunately is long and complicated. But if you go to my Facebook, there is a link there to it.
Gotcha.
And send me the link too, so I'll put it in the show
so we can put it in
notes.
it in the show
Oh,
notes.
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, just email it or text or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer, this has been so much fun. We could keep talking to you, but we're racing for the exit. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Have a great day today. Beautiful, tasty day today. Happy belated birthday to you.
Birthday.
You are a wonderful pretend daughter.
Thank you. You're a wonderful pretend dad.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. That's very kind of you.
All right. Am I wrapping things
You
up?
are.
I think
That's our
you
show,
are.
I guess
You
that's
are,
our
yes.
Thanksgiving show. Thank you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all of the Little House family. Allison, Dean, Jennifer, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to our rock solid engineer and producer.
Yes, Tony, sweet. Yes.
Sweet Tony. Sweet Tony, baby.
Happy Thanksgiving to our social media queens, Joy and Christine. And hey, happy Thanksgiving to our patrons, right?
Yes. Yes. Our 360 and counting
heavens.
patrons. Thank you all.
You are the reason why we are still doing this,
absolutely.
guys. Thank you. If you haven't joined Patreon, please hop on. Oh, and our merch store is open. Yay!
We have stuff.
Because that was a lot.
Yes, it was.
I'm really glad
you
and
had that
thankful.
in your hands.
It is very
Pamela.
complicated to run a business, and
Yes.
it's a business,
Yes.
and we had to do the thing, and
Yeah.
you did
Yeah.
it.
You've
did
done it. You've done it.
Yes, some sleepless nights over, but it's done. It's done. And enjoy shopping. Go to our website. You can click in or our socials. You can find us. Anyway, if you want to know our website, it's littlehouse50podcast.com, and our socials are littlehouse50podcast. I think it's time to gobble gobble and
Yeah.
Bob
Gobble,
go
gobble.
get the wig.
Bob, get the wig.
Let's
Bob, get the
fly
cranberry
down
sauce.
the
Calling my
hill.
name. I hear it.
Yeah.
Fly, Jennifer, fly.
Oh, we're flying.
She's like,